Good day, we are Ethical Team 3 and we will be presenting our topic for our case study, which is the legalization of abortion. To start off, here is a brief introduction on the topic abortion. So abortion is a medical procedure that terminates pregnancy with the removal of an embryo or fetus. In the Philippines, abortion is currently illegal and it is a sensitive topic to majority of the population. In this presentation, we will be presenting the legalization of abortion in the Philippine context, and there will be two perspectives that we will be tackling about, which are pro and anti-abortion perspectives, with the use of different ethical theories.
For the first argument against the legalization of abortion, I will be using the Divine Command Theory or DCT. This theory simply states that the morality of humans is based on the will or commandments of God. Now let's look at some religious texts. First, we have the Bible. Number 1, God said, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it." Number 2, God said, "You shall not kill." In the Quran, there was a passage which states, "Whoever takes a life, it will be as if they killed all of humanity." Thus, it can be seen that abortion contradicts the will of God. Abortion clashes with the commandment of God to avoid taking the life of others. Furthermore, it opposes the blessing of God for procreation. Therefore, under the lens of DCT, abortion is morally unacceptable.
The natural law theory is a theory that states that morality is a part of the natural order of things, and any action that contradicts the natural order is deemed as immoral. Older versions of the theory require the premise of a supernatural being or a god, while newer versions of the theory can stand alone as is. Major proponent Aquinas supported that an action under the natural law is good if the action is in accordance with human conscience. The three inclinations of human conscience are self-preservation, social interaction, and reproduction. So with humans' natural inclination to reproduce, any action that interferes with reproduction can be deemed morally unacceptable. Thus, under the natural law theory, abortion is considered morally unacceptable and can be used as an argument against the legalization of abortion.
So we'll explore how Immanuel Kant's principle of universality sheds light on the moral implication of abortion. So the principle of universality is a fundamental aspect of Kant's categorical imperative. It states that an action is morally permissible if its maxim can be applied universally without contradiction. So let's apply this principle to abortion. Imagine if everyone were to act on the maxim of terminating pregnancies at will. This leads to a contradiction, as some would consider the scientific evidence indicating that human life begins at conception. However, if abortion were universally permissible, it would contradict the scientific fact by allowing for the arbitrary termination of human life. This contradiction undermines the very foundation of respecting human dignity, as human dignity is inherently tied to the recognition and protection of human life. Simply because human dignity means that each of our lives have an unimpeachable value simply because we are human.
And now for the first argument for pro-choice. Now we are using bioethics as a basis, as abortion is one of the main issues that's being tackled under bioethics, as it falls under the beginning of life issues. Now usually pro-choice stances on abortion mostly views abortion through the mother's perspective, with the safety of the mother in mind and also the rights of the mother in mind. But under bioethics, the main points are that the fetus is considered not to be a person or is to be a person. But under the pro choice, it is not considered to be a developed person yet. And that the mother has her own rights to her own body.
According to a study in 2022, 1.1 million illegal abortions occur annually, while 1,000 women die each year from post-abortion complications due to unsafe abortion methods and lack of post-abortion care, while an estimated 100,000 women are hospitalized. According to the same study, 75% of women seeking abortion in the Philippines are of low financial status, while 10% are victims of sexual harassment. Evaluating this issue under the lens of consequentialism, the benefits of legalizing abortion outweigh the negative aspects. By making abortion legal, multiple unnecessary deaths in the country will be prevented. Simply put, whether or not abortion itself is immoral is not a question we should ask, but rather, is keeping abortion illegal morally acceptable? As stated, abortions will be present either way, and by making it legal, proper methods and procedures will be available for women in the country, making abortion safe and giving women the rightful choice to govern their own bodies.
In today's world, debates often surround the topic of abortion, but what if we approach it in a simpler perspective? In the laws of consequentialism, it is looking at the consequences of action to determine if they are right or wrong. When it comes to abortion, this perspective focuses on the outcomes for individuals. Legalizing abortion is like making a decision based on what will cause the least harm and make people happiest in the end. It means allowing women to safely end pregnancies when they need to, which keeps them from getting hurt. Plus, it gives the women the power to choose what happens to their own bodies, making them happier and more in control. When abortion is legal, it can also help families who might struggle financially and make society more accepting and supportive. So overall, legalizing abortion is what making sure people are safe and happy and in charge of their own lives.
It is important that we acknowledge the cruel fact that illegal and unsafe abortions exist. The alarming statistics of maternal death and health-related issues during such approaches calls for our eagerness. Clearly, one should be well convinced that guaranteeing the availability of safe and well-controlled procedures for abortion ought to be an issue of national importance in protecting women's health and welfare. On the other hand, we cannot underestimate the spiritual and moral values that are strongly adopted by many people in relation to the value of life. When dealing with the abortion issue, it is necessary to have a balance that uphold the rights of women and also consider ethical factors. But what do we recommend for such a situation? Abortion should be legalized but under a strict regulation, and there must be several conditions to abort. This abortion should be conducted in the earliest phase of pregnancy where they are done before viability. Procedures will be performed by licensed professionals in accredited facilities, guaranteeing safety and following medical standards. Limited exceptions would be considered for cases of severe fetal abnormalities or risk to the mother's health. By legalizing abortion with strict regulations, we address concerns from both sides while safeguarding women's health.